Welcome everyone to the DAZN Boxing Show. I'm joined by a couple of esteemed guests here, Darren Barker and Tony Bellew, as we look back on what's been a good year, I think it's fair to say, in 2022, and what we hope to see in 2023. Daz, I want to start with you. Highlights of 2022, what really stood out, do you think?
Straight away, when I was asked this question, I have to answer with Michael Conlan, Lee Wood in Nottingham. Do you know why I'm saying that? Because you're the same tone, and I'm sure you are, Ade, as well. I buzz off an atmosphere. Yeah. And that, for me, was the best atmosphere, not just of this year, one of the best atmospheres I've ever experienced. And look, the fight itself, Conlan dropping Wood in the first round, and it was just an epic battle. It was Conlan early, then Wood coming back, and then the finish, the dramatic finish at the end, for me, was just unbelievable. The scenes at the end, it was just an incredible night of boxing. So for me, that was my highlight.
I have to agree, because what you don't get in boxing, that we're all football fans here, and like an FA Cup final where you get a 50-50 split of fans, you don't really get that in boxing. You normally get one boxer dominating the fan base. Yeah. And with that Conlan Wood, it was half Irish and half Forest fans. And I remember Conlan coming out and the Irish just going mad. And I'm thinking, oh, Wood's gonna get booed in his hometown here. Like they're gonna drown out the Nottingham Forest fans. And when Wood's walking, I'm like, go on, Forest fans, do something. And they just rise up. And I'm like, wow.
And do you know what? What I'll say as well, massive credit to those fans as well, because I don't remember seeing any trouble whatsoever in the crowd. None. They're a two passionate bunch of supporters, but it was all in good spirit, and they played their part in what was, for me, a massive event of this year.
I feel like me and Tony are going to share the same for our highlight of 2022, but I'll let you say what it is just in case.
Yeah, I mean, that was an amazing event. I loved it. It was absolutely phenomenal, brilliant. I made
even
up
the finish. Now that we know Michael Conlan's okay, we can all talk about how dramatic the finish was as well.
I didn't acknowledge the finish enough on the TV when we were doing it because I just felt so low. That night I was literally scared for Michael Conlan. I really was. I was worried, so I tried my best to give as much credit as I could to Lee Wood, and I messaged Lee Wood after it and just said, listen, I'm sorry, but
he didn't get to have that moment, did he?
Yeah, it was taken from because we were petrified, and to go out the way he did was unbelievable. Michael Conlan will be back. Lee Wood's gone on to be an amazing fight, he really has. But for the highlight for me of the year, it has to be Taylor Serrano. It's the hype, the event, the big room in Madison Square Garden, sold out the arena, first female fighter ever, to ever be the main fight on the bill there. It was record breaking going into it, but when a fight delivers and gives you everything you want, and listen, not everything you want, it gave you more than what you were expecting. These two girls went for it from the first bell till the last bell. The last round in that fight, I was just like, wow, incredible.
Honestly, it was crazy. Wow. And I think we knew it was crazy as well. Obviously, we're lucky to be there. I knew it was crazy from the weigh-ins because Katie Taylor had her own sort of musical band next to her at the weigh-ins. And I remember Barak DAZN, obviously he's Puerto Rican, and he kept telling me, like, Ade, you don't know the Puerto Ricans, we're gonna drown out the noise here. And I'm like, dude, you obviously do not know what the Irish are capable of. You have absolutely no idea.
I kept telling him that.
I think he didn't realise that 90% of the Irish are still in the bar. I was like, they're gonna get out of the bar soon.
You have no idea.
You have no idea what's coming. And when she walked out, and she's such an enigma because we all know what she's like. She's so religious, so quiet. When she does that ring walk, she just turns into this monster.
But it's mad. Do you know the mad thing as well? I just felt, for me, that would have been the perfect way for Katie Taylor to bow out of the sport. She's done absolutely everything. But now she's gone on, she's fought again, and now we're looking at potentially March next year, Croke Park.
80,000.
Can you imagine? We're talking about atmosphere there. Can you imagine the atmosphere?
And I've got an Irish friend that he says to me, it will sell 80,000.
Which is crazy. They're saying, it's going to go just like that. And she deserves it.
Yeah, she does.
Everyone deserves it. She deserves it. I'm going to mention a couple, not on DAZN, because I feel like it's not just DAZN, we've had some good ones. Amir Khan, Brook, just because it was sort of 10 to 12 years in the making, and I'm a massive Brook fan. I love Amir Khan, but I'm a massive Brook fan. And I've always said, if they were to fight at their peak, I always thought that Brook had his number. And just for Brook, I'm happy for him that he got that win. He got the win, he got the big payday. How much was that at the AO Arena? At 15,000?
I bought a ticket for it.
Did you?
I've not gone to a boxing fight as a fan for a long, long time. I haven't, for a long time. I'm so fortunate. You know, we're all at some of these huge shows in this country and abroad. I don't really get time to go to other fights. I paid for a ticket and I sat in the stand and I watched that fight because I was the same as you. And the same as you, Tony. It was that fight, that we've been wanting to see for ages. And there's been so many fights. The list goes on. Maybe not Froch, Calzaghe, maybe a bit of a crossover.
There are some though that you just don't.
Junior Witter-Hatton and
Witter-Hatton.
That was exactly the same.
Witter-Hatton is exactly.
And I just thought I've got to go to this. I've got to go to this, and it didn't disappoint.
I was on holiday with my kids and the missus and that, and it was. Do you know what? I shouldn't say it, but a part of me, it was sad to see at the time it's happened because neither of them are anywhere near the primes. No. And it was like a battle of who's got the most left. I think it'd have been a really compelling, brilliant fight had they faced in the prime. I think the person who had saved more was Kel. Kel needed to win.
He had to win
I've seen Kel
just for him.
I haven't seen Kel for years, and I've seen him for the first time a couple of months back after the Amir fight, and I was happy to see him happy and healthy, and just. He looked like he'd found peace of mind, and Amir looks like he's found peace again. So, Kel needed that.
Yeah.
I don't think Amir needed as much Kel. Amir's a happy-go-lucky lad. He's a lovely, lovely lad. I know both of them. And I said, being on England squads with Amir Khan and fought against England with the USA, he's a diamond of a kid, but yeah, Kel needed that fight. 'Cause if Kel would have lost that, I'm not joking, mate, I genuinely fear for Kel's mental health because I don't think he would have took it too well.
Yeah, we both, I think, all agree with Katie Taylor, Serrano. I think we've got to mention Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, and Alicia Balmar, Kayla Micah, and just the way in which they built that fight up. I mean, everyone thought it was a 50-50 fight. Maybe people were edging towards Clarissa because she's the better boxer, but we know Savannah had the punch power. Baumgardner and Maya was genuinely 50-50 on the hatred they brought to the ring. All female fight card, and we keep talking about the growth of female boxing. Yeah. That done fantastically well.
It did, and Clarissa Shields put on a masterclass. It's just the best way of putting it. She's the female I enjoy most watching the most, to be honest.
All right, really? Who's pound for pound for you?
I think Katie Taylor is because she has the win over Serrano. Serrano's an all-time great, and she's a pound for pounder. She's a 7-weight world champion. So by defeating her, you have that elite name on your resume where you go, well, if Clarissa Shields and Katie Taylor were to get into an argument, you go, well, who's better? Because you can't really break them up. They're two different styles, the way they fight, but they're both amazing at what they do. So you can't break it up with how good each one is.
Now, I've always said, though, that I actually think Clarissa is the better boxer. 2 Olympic gold medals maybe say that, but I think Katie's fought the better opposition. So for me, Katie's the pound for pounder.
But when you say she's the better boxer, as in
just what she does. When I'm watching,
you mean by making her slip the roll and
everything.
Stuff. But then Katie Taylor's ferociousness and work rate is higher than Clarissa's.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm thinking Katie is better.
I prefer to watch Clarissa Shields.
But for me, as just
more strings to her bow.
More strings to the bow, Clarissa.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I like to watch Clarissa.
Was it 1A, 1B? Rather than 1 and 2?
No, it's not even 1A, 1B. I just think it's a case of I like to watch Clarissa purely more because it's a better fight. Like, Katie's so good. It's very rare you see her get pushed to the brink because she's so far ahead of everyone else. Whereas Clarissa likes to stay in the pocket, slip, slide, roll, take a few hits, roll again, counter you with a great shot. And that's just what I like. That's my preference. But for Katie Taylor to watch what she does, it's just unbelievable.
I think it was the most important year for women's boxing. 2022. It was their breakthrough year for me. The big fights, the numbers, the all-female card.
Undisputed fight.
It just sets up a huge 2023. If we get the Katie Taylor Croke part, I mean, the numbers you're talking about there.
You see, they're doing unprecedented numbers now. And one thing that I must stress and touch on, if you come away from 2-minute rounds and I think it should be 12 rounds, 12 twos. But if you come away from 2-minute rounds, you are going to lose the ferociousness and the velocity and the variety.
Non-stop.
I'm telling you, and you can't do that for 3 minutes. As we know, we fought over 4 twos, and you can set an unbelievable hot pace over 2-minute rounds purely for the fact of you're flying for the first minute. And the second minute, it's like you can keep going. Don't get me wrong, you can't go all out for 2 minutes every single way, but there is a way you can put so much into that first minute and a half and then just let it slowly edge out and peter out. You cannot do it over 3-minute rounds. I don't care how fit you are. It's virtually impossible. It's very rare you see a fighter do that.
All right, as we wrap, I want you both to pick a fight, only one. You're the promoter of all promoters. You can make any fight in boxing. Both pick a fight that you want to see, regardless of promotional stables, whatever, that you want to see in 2023.
Right, I'm going to answer this, and I'm biased with this answer, okay? But it's what I want to see, and it's a fight that I feel this individual deserves, and it's John Ryder versus Canelo, and I would love to see this fight at the Emirates. That's the talk.
Can it do that? I know he's got that Islington base.
I don't think we understand what a big draw Canelo is in this country. That will sell out.
Emirates.
It will sell out, and I'm telling you now,
60,000.
John, he's an Islington boy. He's local to the Emirates. I think it's a sellout. I genuinely think it's a sellout. I really do. And do you know what? I've known
60.
Yeah, and then you got the pitch. So it's
So you're looking at a 70.
I think it sells out. I genuinely think they sell it out. I do. I think Canelo's huge.
I like the shout because John deserves it.
Yeah.
Like people might not think it's the.
He had it the hard way. He's
it.
suffered defeats. He's come firing back. He's in the twilight years of his career. But look how well he's performing. You know, we had a back and forth when it happened with the Callum Smith.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of what you
I said he won that.
It was a very close fight.
It was a very close fight. I'll never deny him that.
It was a very close fight, right? He deserves this big shot. It doesn't get much harder for John Ryder, but I've known him since the day I turned professional. He's had it hard. He's done it the hard way, and he deserves it. He deserves it. And I'll tell you now, park John Ryder aside for 1 second. I guarantee you, there's at least 70,000 British boxing fans would come out to see Canelo.
Yeah,
I guarantee
I think so as well. We don't see these stars over here.
That's a big
We don't
call.
see these stars over here. And when they do come over, they're all like, my God, this is incredible. Before you give yours, I'll give mine, Tony. Slightly different from yours, which is obviously a want for a friend to get a big fight. I want to see desperately Dimitri Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev. I almost want to see this skilled boxer versus this brick, this machine. And Bivol so impressed me. Like, he's honestly, I feel like I let myself down sleeping on him. Just watching him close up and the way he moves and is in and out and just him as a person. And then I see Beterbiev and just how mean he is and just brute force. I want to see that clash. And obviously it will be for an undisputed as well, and that's what we want to see in this sport.
I'll probably
I
go
want to
second
see that.
for me there.
I want to see that 175 pounds Bivol Beterbiev. Mr. Man?
I want to see Bam v Sonny Edwards, because I'm not going to get Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, so there's no point in even saying it.
I thought he was going to go heavyweights as well, but I like that fight.
I thought he was going to go heavyweights as well. That's interesting.
I like that, but I just think...
I like Bam, Sonny.
I like that
I like
fight.
that.
I like Bam and Sonny, purely for the fact of, I want to give the lighter weight some kind of recognition. I feel they get overlooked, and I think Sonny's one of the most skillful kids in the world, and I think Bam is just, he's brilliant, he's ferocious, you know. The wins recently have just been Rung Versailles.
How good did he look there as well?
He's just he's just unbelievable. So, of course, we all want Errol Spence, Bud Crawford. It's not going to happen. I think the most lucrative fight in boxing right now is Wilder and Joshua.
Yeah. More than Fury Usyk?
100%.
You think it's not more lucrative?
Chaos in Lagos.
It's more lucrative.
More money-wise.
It's more money in Wilder than
AJ. Don't you think?
If you,
you
take Wilder and you take AJ to Saudi and they will want it because they just love AJ, it does bigger numbers.
If both are on the TV right now in front of you, what are you watching?
Who are you tuning into, Daz? Who are you watching?
What are you watching? They're right in front of you right now.
And you can only watch one TV.
I'm watching Wilder AJ because you know at any time someone's going. You watch. If you've got two TVs here and they just go, listen, when you pick your TV, that shutter goes over that one.
It's that unification fight, the undisputed king of the marquee division in boxing. That's, you know, I'm not saying I would pick it, but I'd be sort of.
I just want to see.
I want to know who the main man in the division is.
Giants.
When they walk into the ring, mate, they walk into the ring. It's on both tellies, and you've got the walk into the ring. The walk into the ring. The announcers are in it, Buffer's in one, Jimmy Lennon Jr.'s in another, they're announcing the fights, and then all of a sudden it goes, which fight do you want to go? Ding, ding, the first bell goes.
I mean, you're giving me goosebumps even
thinking
about it.
What are you going? You're going AJ Wilder.
No one's missing AJ
No one's
Wilder.
missing
Because
him.
you just can't predict it.
Yeah.
One thing we do know here is, Usyk and Fury is, if someone gives you £1 million and goes, how much of the percentage of £1 million would you put on this is going 12 rounds?
Yeah.
I'll put the whole
Put a
lot on
million.
it.
I don't think...
Put £1 million on how far
AJ Wilder's getting out of free.
How far's AJ Wilder going?
Not getting out of free.
It's not going past 6.
And ask me who's winning, who's going down, who's doing what. What's
Take
happening?
my money now. Take my money now.
Well, I tell you what, I hope they happen.
I've said that fight has to happen in Nigeria. I've been campaigning for it. Look, we've got a photo. we got this poster right next to us, everyone here. Of Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Kinshasa, Rumble in the Jungle. When you think of those big fights, Thriller in Manila, they're not always in Vegas or London or the Middle East.
That is the biggest
Chaos. AJ's Nigerian. Wilder, Wilder did one of those DNA tests. Those things you do. Spit it back, 40% Nigerian.
Ade's just out here claiming
Chaos
brothers.
in Lagos.
Ade's out
here
claiming brothers, mate. That he get whatever it takes, just drive to see
40% Nigerian. You got to do it in Nigeria.
Bro.
Imagine that, though. Imagine that.
It's a
Crazy.
sellout.
Burner Boy singing the ringside.
When you talk about legacy and fights, see that fight there you've got on poster, that is something else. That is one of the most historic moments ever in boxing, what he done that night. Imagine going in with the biggest puncher that boxing has ever seen. That's what George Foreman is. Yeah. He's the biggest. I know Deontay Wilder's a big puncher, but George Foreman, before going in with Muhammad Ali, knocked out Ken Norton and sparked an unbeaten Joe Frazier.
No, he didn't spark him. He lifted him off his feet.
He
made him jump.
He sent him to the motherland.
He actually made him jump. It was like a Rocky movie.
Took him off his feet.
All right, look, producer's telling us to rap.
I need
Clearly doesn't want to hear your story about
Muhammad Ali.
Clearly does not want to hear your story.
Just quickly, right?
Muhammad
Ali's game plan against the greatest puncher ever was, I'm going to lie on the ropes and let him punch himself out. I'm going to let myself be a punch bag for 8 rounds, and he's going to wear himself out.
What did he say?
Imagine telling your team that against the biggest puncher the world's ever seen.
Though, that was.
And then done it.
And what did he say? He said to George, "Oh, George, you getting tired? Oh, this is the wrong place to get tired.
George.
You need him in your ear.
This is the wrong place to get tired, George."
He said, whacking him to the body, man. He goes, "Is that all
you got, George? You big dummy. Is that all you got, George? Is that all you can hit? You can't hit me."
Was he well, Shandy?
Yeah, that was solid. I was quite good with it. I thought it was quite good. Anyway, look, that's the end of our show. We've enjoyed 2022, but so many good fights coming on DAZN in 2023. Make sure you stay locked in, because this is the place to be for boxing. Have a good Christmas and a Happy New Year.